So, this is a fanfiction idea I always love coming back to in one capacity or another. It's also kind of funny because it's similar to another fanfiction idea I always come back to and always kind of retool it every so often. And if you've been on this channel long enough, then you've probably seen this story in one way or another. And that is the Superman Avatar Last Airbender AU. And you may be thinking, how the hell does that even work? Like, how do we even have a Superman Avatar AU? Is Aang Superman? Is Zuko Superman? No. Kal-El is Superman. So this is more of an Elseworld. So if you haven't guessed already, this is more of an Elseworlds type story. So it's one of your standard Elseworld stories. So if you guys have read enough Superman Elseworld stories, then you'll know how this one probably is gonna go. So what happens is that Superman, as a baby, Kal-El, is sent to Earth, but instead he's sent to the world of the Four Nations in this continuity as Krypton is destroyed. However, rather than and in here he falls in the Fire Nation. Now hold on, don't worry, he's not found by Ozai. Instead, he's found by Iroh. And Iroh raises him as a second son. He's raised alongside Luten, and Cal is adopted into the Fire Nation family as another prince of the Fire Nation. However, when Kal-El, and he's called Kal-El, he's not given a different name, because Iroh, when he finds it, he's actually like in deep meditation, and the sky falls to Earth. His wife had just passed, and he's in deep meditation, trying to be like, inner peace. I need to be with my son, but I need me time right now. I need to decompress from what just happened, and he's like almost sending a message out into the universe. Please send me a sign to what to do next. And what happened? That signal comes in the form of a star that falls out of the sky and lands near Iroh. So he runs over, opens it up, he sees it's a craft of some kind. It opens up and has a baby inside, and in there it's a recording of Jor-El, and he's like, to whoever finds this, please watch over my son Kal-El. And he goes, Kal-El? Okay. So he adopts him and names him, and he's known as Prince Kal. And Kal, when at the age of 10, starts exhibiting his powers. Now the sages look him over, and he's like, "Oh, he's not the Avatar." But however, they do see that, especially Ozai is like, "Yeah, we can." He's talking to his brother. Is like, "Yeah, we can definitely use your brother, your other son, to our advantage." And Iroh's like, "I'm not using my son as a weapon. He'll be raised under my care, and that's it." So Cal and Luten are raised together as brothers. And yes, Cal does show and train under Iroh, even though he's not a firebender, to hone his powers. And also trains him in forms of military techniques. So now we have almost like Red Sun Superman, but without the, cruelty. So as the Prince of the Fire Nation, the thing of it is that Ozai goes to Azulon and is like, "Hey, this guy's adopted. He's not by blood allowed in here. So Luten is your only heir." And Azulon's like, "Yeah." He also doesn't like the idea of having a freak as a Fire Lord. So in the event of something happening, Cal cannot take the throne. But Cal's like, "That's cool. Father will make a great Fire Lord, and when he becomes Fire Lord, he'll change it." Yeah. So the Battle of Ba Sing Se, obviously with the Superman of the Fire Nation, as he's called, like Cal is called Prince Cal, the Superman of the Fire Nation, and he's already instilling fear into the Earth Kingdom. In fact, they're taking a lot more territory with Cal in charge. And during the Battle of Ba Sing Se, however, it all comes back down because Luten is killed, and Cal is unable to save him. And that's the moment that Ozai needs to solidify, yeah, your son, if the Superman can't save his own brother, then he can't be there's no chance of him being Fire Lord. And of course, that leads to one thing to another. Ozai takes over, and Yeah, so Cal is now used more as a weapon by Ozai. So, and now with his uncle giving orders, Superman is giving like an iron fist to the four nations. Like the Earth Kingdom is now like on the brink of collapse. There's so like even the water tribes are being, you know, desolated. This, however, leads to a couple changes. One being that Ba Sing Se is now like on the brink, and more countries are being taken. Omashu is completely crushed, or very early, as well as other major Earth Kingdom cities and towns. And also because of the North and South Pole being decimated by the Fire Nation might, what happens is that Aang and Sokka never find Aang, and he's still under there. However, Cal isn't without heart. He like understands and is like understanding that these people have like walks of lives, and he's trying. And however, Iroh at this point is already gone and Zuko. He's gone with Zuko, and Cal's like, you know, I hope you do well for my cousin, and you know, take care of him. This leads to another thing where. What happens in Ba Sing Se is that another craft has landed on Earth, and well, Earth and the four nations, I should say, and this one is containing Kara. But this is a little different because in this continuity, Kara's ship was found by Brainiac, so Brainiac took her and made her into his little herald. So the Supergirl is now like the coming of Brainiac. So, and that's what we're dealing with here. Also, I thought it'd be kind of fun since Long Feng is voiced by Clancy Brown, who voiced Luthor. He can be I thought also it'd be kind of fun that in the minds of in the old city of Ba Sing Se, that's where Kryptonite is. And Long Feng is harnessing kryptonite-based weapons to hurt Superman. And now we have this other problem of Kara mixed with Brainiac. And Kara basically is like, you know, Kal-El, this unit that I use, I am Brainiac of Kahlua, and who you battle is your blood cousin. And that freaks Kal out. And he's like, you never knew where you came from, did you? And he's like, my father always told me I came from the stars. And Brainiac / Supergirl is like, you poor fool. You misguided wretch. Look what has become of you. And then that's when they talk about, Supergirl Brainiac talks about, like, the past that they share and everything in between. It's like it just basically kind of lays out all of the things in front of him, and yeah, this shit really gets heavy from there. So yeah. However, I think what I'm gonna do for this is make it interesting. If you guys want to know more, you know, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do a sequel video to this. Hopefully I got all of your attention, because I like coming back to this one. I really do. I really do enjoy coming back to this one every so often. So you guys tell me in the comments below. Do you guys like this? Like it, hate it, comment below, let me know. And like I said, if you're interested, I will do a part 2 and go further into this universe where the Superman of the Fire Nation is a thing. So yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.